Hello, our mighty Saurus and Sarah. It is a nice day to learn about fossils, dinosaur, and prehistoric creatures, isn't it? My name is Ava, your guide on the journey back to the ancient world of wonderful earthlings. As most of us know today about dinosaurs, a large number of non-avian dinosaur species went extinct after the Chicxulub asteroid collided with Earth 66 million years ago, causing a catastrophe that led to the end of the age of dinosaurs. However, in the 180 million year history of the group of animals known as dinosaurs, up until the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction event, countless dinosaur species had gone extinct throughout that period without a giant asteroid crashing into Earth. They were victims of a game called survival, and the master of the game was nature. Only the best adapted and fastest could survive through many rounds. But sometimes, nature is not generous enough to give species much time. Today, let's explore the story of a dinosaur genus that once adapted very well to survive the harshness of the survival game, but the subsequent sudden changes eventually pushed them to the brink of extinction. Are you ready? Let's get started. First, it is important to know that Europe was not always a nearly continuous continent as we see it now. There was a time when the entire continent of Europe was an archipelago, with the size of the islands constantly changing due to the rise and fall of sea levels. This period occurred about 160 to 150 million years ago, during the late Jurassic. The rise of sea levels divided some areas of the continent, forming smaller islands than the original landmass. This posed a significant challenge for continental animal populations suddenly separated from the vast lands they once inhabited. To survive, they had to find ways to adapt to new conditions, which often contained many difficulties in terms of survival resources, such as scarce food and water, and increased competition within and between species. This situation led to a phenomenon we call the island effect. The island effect, also known as Foster's rule, is a term used to describe the evolutionary change in size of organisms, either growing larger or smaller, due to isolation from original populations caused by geographical barriers, such as islands or enclosed valleys. Examples close to human times include the Mediterranean dwarf elephant Paleoloxodon falconeri, the Javan tiger, the Flores man, and the dinosaur genus Europasaurus is a typical example of this phenomenon in the age of dinosaurs. Europasaurus is a genus of herbivorous sauropod dinosaurs that lived about 154 million years ago, related to the famous Brachiosaurus genus in the USA. Fossils of Europasaurus were discovered by paleontologists in northern Germany, starting in 1998. Private fossil collector Holger Ludge was the first to find Europasaurus fossils at an active limestone quarry in the Langenberg Mountain, Lower Saxony. At that time, the limestone quarry had been operating for over a century, using explosives to extract limestone, mostly used as fertilizer. Previously, fossils of marine invertebrates had been found in the limestone quarry, but fossils of ancient terrestrial animals were very rare. Fortunately, Holger Ludge unexpectedly found a sauropod tooth in the quarry, which was also the first Jurassic sauropod fossil found in northern Germany. Subsequently, many other dinosaur fossils were found in the same area. Large-scale excavations helped extract thousands of bones from the limestone sediments, revealing the appearance of a completely new dinosaur species unknown to science. The fossils were processed and stored at the Munchehagen Dinosaur Park, a private outdoor dinosaur museum near Hanover. Due to the well-preserved bones, not much stabilizing material was needed. Processing could be done relatively quickly as the bones easily separated from the surrounding rock. Simple-shaped bones could sometimes be extracted in less than an hour, while complex bones like the sacrum could take up to 3 weeks of work. By January 2001, they had processed a massive number of up to 200 bones. Some rock blocks had extremely dense bone concentrations, such as a 70 by 70 centimeters block containing up to 20 different bones. In 2002, an incomplete sauropod skull was even discovered, the first in Europe. However, unfortunately, during processing and research, a fire deliberately set on the night of October 4th, early morning of October 5th, 2003, destroyed the laboratory and exhibition hall of the Munchehagen Dinosaur Park, causing damage to 106 bones, including the best-preserved vertebral column and the only complete pelvis. Despite these unfortunate losses, we still have a completely new sauropod species with the most abundant and complete fossil record ever found in Europe. Perhaps that is why when the official research and description were completed in 2006, paleontologists decided to name the dinosaur after the continent, giving it the scientific name Europasaurus, meaning European lizard. The species name, Holgeri, was, of course, to honor Holger Ludge, who discovered the first Europasaurus fossil. Even after that, large-scale excavations continued, providing more information for paleontologists not only about Europasaurus, but also about the ecosystem it once lived in, with fossils of fish, turtles, and crocodiles. In 2014, about 1,300 vertebrate bones were discovered, most of which were believed to come from Europasaurus. Additionally, it is estimated that thousands of Europasaurus bones remain in unexcavated rock blocks. The extremely high density indicates that Europasaurus once lived in large numbers here. Initially, when studying Europasaurus fossils, scientists thought these were bones of immature sauropods because they were very small compared to previously known sauropod species. However, the abundance and completeness of the specimens quickly changed paleontologists' minds. They were not from young dinosaurs, as most of the important bones had fused, a feature only seen in mature dinosaurs. This is similar to humans. For example, the skull bones in babies have a gap called the fontanelle, as the brain grows faster than the bones. Later, when they mature, the fontanelle closes. The same applies to other vertebrates like dinosaurs. Since they were fully mature, scientists realized that Europasaurus was indeed very small compared to other sauropod species. Mature individuals were only 5.7 to 6.2 meters long and weighed 750 to 800 kilograms. Immature individuals were also found, with the youngest being only 1.75 meters long. From the size of Europasaurus and the information gathered about its habitat during that era, scientists concluded that this was a case of island dwarfism. This means that Europasaurus originally came from a larger dinosaur genus, but due to geological changes and sea level fluctuations, the land where Europasaurus ancestors lived was divided, creating isolated populations, one of which was trapped on a large island estimated to be only about 200,000 square kilometers, not large enough to sustain a population of giant sauropod dinosaurs. In conditions where survival resources such as food and water are no longer abundant, size is no longer an advantage for these herbivorous dinosaurs. Moreover, scientists have also found fossils of many other dinosaur species in the same area, and they were also affected by the island effect, just like Europasaurus, including carnivorous species. When predators are no longer too large, smaller dinosaurs are less threatened, allowing them to survive and pass on their genes to future generations. Gradually, the ancestors of Europasaurus evolved to become smaller, eventually forming this unusually small dinosaur genus. That's just the appearance. Internally, the adaptation didn't stop at size. In 2023, a study using high technology to examine the skull of Europasaurus revealed more about them. Using micro-CT technology to reconstruct the space in the skull that once housed the brain and inner ear of Europasaurus, researchers found that the inner ear part responsible for hearing, called the lagina or cochlea, was relatively long in Europasaurus. Therefore, these dinosaurs had very good hearing, capable of detecting sounds for communication within their species and among their herd. Additionally, the inner ear also contains a part responsible for balance, and the inner ear cavity of small Europasaurus individuals was very similar in shape and size to that of mature individuals. This suggests that Europasaurus individuals relied heavily on their balance from a very young age. Some skull fossils examined were very small, 2 cm, indicating that they might belong to newly hatched individuals, showing that Europasaurus could live independently from birth without relying on parental care. On the other hand, having a small size compared to most sauropods could also provide Europasaurus with another, strategic advantage. Larger individuals would be less likely to trample the young if they moved together, allowing young Europasaurus to immediately follow the herd after birth. In terms of appearance reconstruction, Europasaurus looks quite similar to miniature versions of closely related dinosaur genera such as Camarasaurus, Brachiosaurus, or Giraffatitan. However, there are still relatively noticeable differences, such as Europasaurus having a shorter snout than its relatives. When studying the bones of Europasaurus, scientists also found that, unlike its relatives or dinosaurs in general, Europasaurus bones had a much slower growth rate. Phylogenetic analysis mostly places Europasaurus in the sauropod clade macronaria, which literally means large nose, including sauropod genera with nostrils on the skull larger than the eye sockets. This could be an evolutionary feature that helps them breathe more efficiently and provide enough oxygen for a large body to function. Additionally, it could also be a place to produce some kind of sound, similar to the hollow crest in dinosaurs like Parasaurolophus. There is still debate among paleontologists about whether Europasaurus is a member of the Brachiosauridae family. It can be said that Europasaurus is a typical case of a dinosaur genus successfully adapting to relatively sudden environmental changes, but unfortunately, the survival game of nature is not that simple. Over a period of several thousand to tens of thousands of years, sea level fluctuations in what is now Europe occurred quite frequently, leading to changes in animal populations. Specifically, paleontologists have found large dinosaur footprints located more than 5 meters above the sediment layer containing Europasaurus fossils, indicating that at least 35,000 years after the appearance of this dinosaur genus, sea levels had dropped, creating natural bridges connecting the island where Europasaurus lived to the mainland. Large predators and herbivores from the mainland could easily access the living space of Europasaurus. While the theropod carnivorous dinosaurs living in the same environment as Europasaurus were only up to 4 meters long, the newcomers were up to 8 meters long. With this size, they could easily prey on Europasaurus and other island-affected dinosaurs without much difficulty. Additionally, large herbivores could easily compete for food with Europasaurus. This time, the challenge that nature brought to Europasaurus was even more sudden and harsh than before. They could not quickly grow larger to keep up with the hunger of the predatory dinosaurs or compete with other herbivorous dinosaurs. As a result, the entire genus Europasaurus went extinct shortly after, demonstrating the harshness of the survival game. That concludes today's video. Our team sincerely thanks you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us for updates on future videos. For now, goodbye and see you next time.